All right. So everybody's search history is blowing up about Luka right now.
Yeah.
And honestly, same here.
Yeah, it's wild.
Dončić, the Mavericks, the Lakers, it's all anyone's talking about.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to deep dive into all these NBA trade rumors.
Okay, sounds good.
Really focusing on whether Luka's actually going to be on the move.
I think the thing that is so interesting right now is not just how many people are searching for these terms, but the types of searches.
Oh, yeah.
People aren't just looking up Luka Dončić trade, which you would expect.
Right.
They're looking up Mavericks roster, Lakers depth chart.
Wow.
It's like everyone's trying to be the GM, you know,
Making sure GMs, yeah.
figuring out how a trade could actually work.
Yeah, I love that.
It's really fascinating.
So Dončić is a phenomenal player. We all know that.
Uh-huh.
But could the Mavericks actually trade him?
Right.
Seems pretty risky.
Yeah, it's a huge gamble for sure. But the Mavericks are in kind of a tough spot.
Okay.
I mean, they want to build a championship team around Dončić, but it hasn't really been working out these last few years.
Right.
So trading him could bring in a ton of assets.
Yeah.
Young players, maybe some established stars.
Okay.
But the big thing is draft picks, especially those first-round picks.
Yeah, those are really valuable.
Huge. Like gold. You get a chance to draft the next big superstar.
So you're saying draft picks are like lottery tickets for the future of the franchise?
Exactly.
Okay, I like that analogy.
Thanks.
But wouldn't getting rid of Dončić, like he's the face of the franchise, wouldn't that totally alienate their fan base?
Oh, there's definitely a risk of backlash, for sure.
Yeah.
But the front office might be thinking that they can turn those assets from the trade into a team that can win it all, a team that can win long-term. So it really all comes down to how they evaluate the players and the picks they could get back.
Makes sense. It's not just about getting rid of Dončić. It's about getting the most back for him so they can actually build a championship team.
Exactly.
Now, what about the Lakers?
Yeah, what about them?
Why are they so obsessed with Luka? Luka Dončić Lakers jersey is trending everywhere.
Well, the Lakers,
Yeah.
they always want the best players.
You love stars.
Yeah, and Dončić is like the definition of a superstar.
Right.
They've got LeBron, of course, but he's not getting any younger.
Yeah, that's
So if they could get Dončić, they'd be instant contenders again.
But wait a minute.
Yeah.
The Lakers already have another superstar, Anthony Davis.
Right.
Could he be part of a trade?
That's possible.
And what about LeBron? Dončić and LeBron both like to have the ball in their hands.
Right.
Do their styles even work together?
That's a great question. On paper, Dončić and LeBron together is like a dream.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But in reality, it might be tricky.
Okay.
They both need the ball to be at their best.
Uh-huh.
And to get Dončić,
Yeah.
the Lakers might have to trade Anthony Davis,
Oh.
which would be a huge decision.
So the Lakers have to figure out if LeBron and Dončić would actually work together.
Right.
And if giving up AD is even worth it.
That's the big question.
This is getting complicated.
It is. It's a very complicated situation.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what makes it so fascinating. It can change the whole league.
You know, I can't wait to see what happens.
You too.
So we've talked about the Mavericks and the Lakers,
Right.
but there are other teams in the mix too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm seeing Kyrie Irving's name,
Uh-huh.
the Phoenix Suns, the Utah Jazz even.
Yeah. You see all
What's going on with them?
That's kind of like a ripple effect.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, okay.
when you've got a potential superstar trade like this,
Yeah.
every team starts thinking, okay, how can we get involved?
Interesting.
Like Kyrie Irving, he's a free agent.
Right.
So teams that have enough cap space, they might be thinking about him as a plan B.
If they can't get Dončić,
Exactly.
so one move could set off a bunch of moves across the league.
Exactly. It's a chain reaction.
Wow.
The Suns, they've already got a great team with Durant and Booker,
Right?
but they might be looking for that one extra piece, you know,
Yeah.
to put them over the top. And the Jazz, they're in rebuilding mode.
Right.
So they might be willing to take on a big contract or offer up some young players.
Just to help make a Dončić trade happen.
Yeah, basically.
You mentioned cap space.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
Sure.
For those of us who aren't like NBA salary cap experts.
Right. I gotcha.
Right.
So basically, the salary cap limits how much each team can spend on players.
Okay.
And for a trade to work, the salaries have to match up.
Right.
So if the Mavericks want to trade Dončić, who has a huge contract,
Yeah.
they'd need to find teams that have enough cap space.
So take on the salaries of the players coming back in the trade.
Exactly. It's like this complicated puzzle.
Wow, that is complicated.
Yeah, the GMs have a tough job.
Makes sense. It's not just about finding players who fit on the court. It's about making the money work, too.
Totally.
So we've been talking about players and GMs and all these big moves.
Yeah.
But what about the coaches?
Oh, yeah.
Like Jason Kidd in Dallas.
Uh-huh.
How would he handle a big roster change?
It would be tough for sure.
And whoever's coaching the Lakers would have all these huge personalities to manage.
It's true. Coaches don't get enough credit.
They really don't.
They can be the hero or the scapegoat.
Yeah, depending on how things go.
If Dončić gets traded, Kid has to adjust his whole system.
Right.
And the Lakers coach would have to manage LeBron and Dončić and whoever else.
Make sure everybody's happy.
Exactly. It's not easy.
We're talking about all these big names and stuff, but we have to remember these are real people.
That's a really good point.
Dončić is only 24.
Yeah. So young.
And his whole future is being decided by other people.
I know, it's crazy to think about.
That's got to be a lot of pressure.
For sure. Just imagine having your name all over the news like that.
I can't even imagine.
With all the fans and the analysts talking about you.
It's intense.
It's a good reminder that these guys are just people too, you know.
Absolutely.
They have feelings and dreams just like everyone else.
And what about the Mavericks fans?
Oh, yeah.
They love Dončić.
They do.
It would be tough to see him leave.
It would be. You can't forget about the fans.
No, you can't. They're so loyal.
It's amazing how much fans care about their teams and players.
It really is.
It's a big part of what makes sports so special.
This whole situation, it's crazy.
It really is.
So much strategy, ambition, drama.
Definitely.
But it's not over yet.
No, we're still weeks away from the trade deadline.
Anything can happen.
Anything at all. Woj could drop a bomb at any moment.
Woj bomb?
Oh, sorry. Adrian Wojnarowski, he's like the NBA insider.
Getcha.
He breaks all the big news.
So you're saying we got to stay tuned to Woj's Twitter?
Basically.
Okay,
Yeah.
Good to know. So we've talked about the Mavericks, the Lakers, other teams, coaches, even the fans.
Yeah, we've covered a lot.
But what about Dončić himself?
What about him?
Does he have any say in all this?
It's hard to say for sure,
Okay.
but players do have some power.
Especially superstars like Luka.
Exactly. They can tell their teams what they want.
And teams don't usually want to trade for a player who doesn't want to be there.
It usually doesn't end well.
So Dončić could say, I want to stay in Dallas.
He could.
Or I only want to play for the Lakers.
Exactly.
That adds another layer to all this.
It does. It's a power struggle between the players and the teams.
Fascinating. I can't wait to see what happens.
Me neither.
All right, so we've really gone deep on this Dončić thing.
Yeah, we have.
Mavericks, Lakers, other teams, coaches, the fans, everything.
That's a lot to keep track of.
It is.
Yeah.
But let's talk about what this all means for the average NBA fan.
Okay. Yeah. Good idea.
The fan who's constantly checking Twitter for updates.
Refreshing those Woj bombs.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the big thing to remember is that the NBA is always changing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a living thing. You know, you've got all this talent, ambition, strategy, all these moving parts.
It's like a puzzle.
It is. And it's always changing. And in the NBA, anything is possible.
Literally anything.
You think you know what's going to happen, and then boom, Woj drops a bomb.
Woj bombs for life?
And everything changes.
That's what makes it so fun to watch.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's like a soap opera, but with more athleticism.
And fewer dramatic pauses.
Yeah.
This whole Dončić situation,
Yeah.
it's unpredictable.
It really is. We can analyze it all we want.
Yeah.
Talk about the trades and the rosters and the money.
The coaches.
Yeah, the coaches. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
we just don't know what's going to happen.
So what should fans be doing while we wait?
Good question. Stay informed. Stay engaged.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to have your own opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Look past the headlines. Think for yourself.
Yeah.
Think about what any trade could mean for the league.
I like that. Don't just read the news. Actually think about it.
Exactly.
Have those debates with your friends.
Yeah.
Play armchair GM.
It's fun.
And even if Dončić doesn't get traded this season,
Right.
these rumors will probably come back.
Oh, for sure.
Superstars like him are always in demand.
They are. And the NBA is always changing.
So true. So the big question...
Yeah. What if Dončić does get traded to the Lakers?
Mm-hmm.
What would that mean for the league?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is. Would they become a dynasty?
Would they win at all?
What happens to the Mavericks?
Would they be okay without him?
Or would something crazy happen that we can't even predict?
Who knows?
That's what I love about the NBA.
Me too.
You just never know.
It keeps you guessing.
All right, everybody, thanks for listening to this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Keep those Twitter feeds refreshed,
Stay tuned.
because the NBA never disappoints.
Never.